I will just tell you the truth. I am very hesitant to film anything that I'm making DIY art upcycle wise because the last one, two, I think 3 projects, if not more, have turned out so bad, so bad. I'll show you the steps right now, but this idea was so much better in my head, and this is what they look like. And I don't even have the desire to work on these steps anymore. So today I am moving on to upcycling some of my summer clothes. So I'm challenging myself to thrift and upcycle. Really, my clothes, I've been doing this for a while, but now I'm just sort of filming it for you to see. So I tend to get things that are in a little bit bigger of a size or a style that I like, but there's just something I want to add to it. So we're going to work on some of these pieces today. It's almost like modifying them into be something a little different than they are. I see the potential when I'm in the thrift store. I grab the piece and I work on it when I have the time. So I, for the most part, wear like athletic clothes probably 80–90% of the time. I do at least 5 workouts a week, so I don't need a lot of extra clothes in my wardrobe, but these are fun for when I want to look a little more dressed up without being all the way dressed up. So like cute casual clothes. That's what I need in my wardrobe, and that's what we're working on today. Let's see if I can make any of these pieces work. Okay, here's piece number 1, and I just don't like the idea of it being sleeveless. I just don't like how this looks. I want to add sleeves to this, and I don't really know how to do that, so I just cut out these sort of shapes, and I'm going to kind of ruffle it and just sew it into the armhole and see how this comes out. I have yet to be able to successfully attach a sleeve, even though I've been sewing for years. It seems to be one of those it just seems to be a block for me, so wish me luck. This is kind of like the idea I'm going for, this sort of ruffled half sleeve. I figure that'll be easier to do than a full sleeve, so we'll see. This is what the shapes look like that I just randomly cut out. I feel like this would be the shape of a sleeve. I really probably should have a pattern, and then I'm just going to pin this into the sleeve hole, then just take it to my sewing machine and hope for the best. Okay, so if I can get this right side out, this is what it looks like, which is pretty bad. Like, it's what I wanted, but it doesn't look good at all. I'm realizing that this just makes my shoulders look that much wider, and I already have kind of wide shoulders, so this was just a bad idea for a design for me personally. So I have this robe that I thrifted looking for a white lace sleeve because I don't want to make the sleeve from scratch. I don't have success doing that. So I'm just going to cut this sleeve off and I'm going to insert it onto my shirt here like this, and let's see if I have better luck going this route, and I'll have a full sleeve so it'll look more like a polo shirt, which I like that idea, kind of like a new twist on a preppy style. But first, I have to seam rip all of the other one out. And this is what I spend about 80% of my time doing when I'm sewing or upcycling, is seam ripping out the mistakes. So let's fast forward through that. So I kind of laid it where I thought I would want the length, and I'm cutting a little extra so that I have room for error. And I'm so glad I did that, and I'll show you why here in a little bit. But so I get the same length on both. I'm just setting that one that I cut the same way on the one that I haven't cut, and I cut through there. That way they're the same length. I'm an eyeballer, I'm not a measurer. This is just what I do. Okay, so here's how that came out. I mean, it doesn't look right. It doesn't look right at all. I don't like it. I'm gonna have to take a break on this project, move to something else, and come back to it. Okay, I think we're gonna go with a bit of an easier one here. So These, I just don't like the length of these, but otherwise they fit really good. I mean, it's not doing anything like pinching me in too much. So I'm gonna roll them up to where I want them, and then I'm just gonna, so in this case it's really easy because it's about just a 1/4 of an inch above this seam. So I'm just gonna cut all the way around, then sew a line of stitching right above where I cut, about another 1/4 of an inch. And I'm gonna use this green thread and then throw them in the dryer because I want them to have that frayed look on the end. And then these I can wear like within 20 minutes. So this is good because I don't feel like wearing jean shorts today. And these are a little nicer looking than just regular like athletic shorts. So I'm happy to incorporate these into my summer wardrobe. I only have one other pair of, I guess you call them like chino or safari shorts. I don't know, preppy shorts. So yeah, I was excited to thrift these. These were under $5 and they're vintage. 100% cotton, so they'll last and they'll be comfortable. It left a little indentation where I had them folded, so I'm just cutting right along that. So now I'm just trying them on to see if they look like they're even and if I'm happy with that length. I think I could go a tiny bit shorter, but I think I don't want to risk it because I've done that before and then I cut this one a little slightly uneven and then I have to shorten it more and more and more. And I am going to fray this bottom part. Like when I put the stitches here and then every time I wash and dry them, they'll fray a little bit more. So I think I'll leave them where they are and I'll go ahead and stitch these so I can close these seams that I cut back, and then there will be a nice line of stitching that will keep it from fraying past that line. Okay, I got that stitched and I just realized these have 2% spandex and then the rest is cotton, so I don't know if the fraying is going to be as good as I had originally hoped. So I'm going to throw these in the dryer for about 30 minutes and see how they come out, and I'll show you. Okay, so this is what the chino shorts looks like. They are a little, what do you call? Like they pull a little bit here, but then after I wear them for a few hours, they're loose. So I guess that's the effect of the spandex with the cotton. But they're very comfortable, and let me show you the frayed look. So it's slowly starting to fray just how I want them. And every time it'll get a little bit more. So I'm excited. I'm happy with these. I wouldn't normally wear them with. This is a shirt that I don't like the length. And so this is going in my Upcycle next pile. But I just have it on because it's easy to see the full shorts with this on. And normally I wear t-shirts, so I just come down like here. Okay, so here's how the top turned out. Sorry about the dishwasher that's going in the background. I decided to go ahead and cut off the scalloped edge. It was just like too much for me. I liked it like this better. And what drew me to the top was this sort of ruffled detail here and how it looks like I saw it like a polo shirt, but I just didn't want it to be sleeveless. I wanted there to be sleeves. And I like the idea of incorporating the lace because that plays off of these polka dots. So I'm actually happy with this one. And it's cotton, which is really breathable, which I need because it gets really, really hot here. The hardest thing about sleeves for me is getting them to not have puckers when I don't want them to have puckers, and then getting them to be even. So I'm considering this one a success. Now, I don't know how often I'll wear it, but I do like it. Okay, next up, I thrifted these distressed shorts, and I'm showing you where the distressing is because I like the distressing, but not fully. So in the front, I don't like it. I want to add lace in there. I think that would look really cute. but I like it in the back. So this is the lace that I pulled. I have a lot of this left over, and so I decided that this is like bridal lace, but I just feel like you can use it for other projects, and I do. So I went ahead and pinned it in while I had the shorts on, and now I'm just going to take it to the sewing machine. This is how the shorts turned out, and here, let me just bring you a little closer. So, just adding this sort of lace detail, and it's only on the front. I added it, and I purposely did it so they're not the exact same, which I like. So this is an example of something that's technically out of style, but I always like lace and denim together, so this won't be something I get tired of. And these jean shorts could eventually end up not fitting me because I'm in the process of training differently, but they were really easy to do, and so I feel confident I could duplicate this again if I wanted to in the future. And then this is what they look like in the back. So 2 pieces done. Now let me show you the pants next. And don't judge me on this. Okay, so for these, they're the seersucker, pink and white seersucker pattern. And they are kind of not as flattering of a fit. So kind of like a looser fit. But they feel really comfortable. And I like the idea of having kind of a baggier pair of shorts that, you know, when everybody was doing the pajama bottoms, like the matching pajama top and bottom set, these kind of reminded me of that, but I could do like my own variation of that. So I'm thinking cutting them off, maybe on the longer side, and then adding some eyelet trim around the bottom to give it kind of, I don't know, this is the length they're at right now, so I have to decide what length I want them to be, but I like the idea of adding eyelet trim to the bottom, or maybe even cutting them right below the knee and adding the eyelet trim. That might be cute. So yeah, I don't know, we'll see where these go, but I like how airy and breezy they feel, and I don't always want to wear super short shorts, so I do want to keep these on the longer end. That's what I do now. So originally I thrifted this because I thought I was going to make a top out of it, but I decided I really don't want it to be a top. It just looks too, I don't know, unflattering, and I got tired of messing with it, so I just put it back in my stash, and I'm realizing this would be really cute on the hem of these. So the inspiration is very much this sort of old bloomer style, but using this seersucker and not doing the scrunched effect, but I'm just gonna do more like this Free People style. So vintage inspired, but just basically how I want it to look. So yeah, I'm gonna cut these off here, and I'm gonna mess around with sewing this on and see how I like that, and then we'll go from there. This is really the inspiration I'm going off of. So I'm going to create that. I'm not doing this upper part and the drawstring waist. I'm just wanting to do something along these lines and have it hit me somewhere around there on my leg, because I think that's flattering and it gives that vintage effect. I mean, my pants my pieces actually probably are vintage. I've got Ralph Lauren, which more than likely is from the 90s. But regardless, I love this, and this is sort of what I'm going after. These are more like the traditional bloomers, and I do think these are really cute, but these aren't gonna flatter my body type. I know that, so I'm not going to go there. Pants are a lot easier because I'm just cutting straight across, whereas shorts I have to do the back a little longer, so I don't cut straight across. realizing these may have minimal stains. Can you spot the stain where I think there's a stain? But I don't think it bothers me enough to make patches. I think I'm gonna leave it. Okay, I cut this at about the length I wanted, and I was getting ready to put this back into my stash to use for another project, and I just realized I think I really like how this looks at the bottom of the hem, and then I just need to bring this here. So I think I'm gonna cut this apart, cut this off, and add this on. One of my favorite things about upcycling is you can take something that is already, so like a skill that I don't have, for instance, this, I don't know how to make this, and it may be straightforward, but I also don't really enjoy tedious things, and so I think it's cool just to be able to take this, the smocked or whatever detail this is that somebody else did, and I can add it to the hem of my pants. The same with the embroidered scalloped edges. Like I don't have the time or the desire to learn how to do these techniques currently with my sewing machine. And for this, I would probably have to have an embroidery or something altogether. But I can take these materials when I see them at estate sales and thrift stores, and they appeal to me, and I can sort of put them together into my own clothing. And I just think that's so fun and a really cool thing about upcycling. I do it with crochet pieces too. Yeah, never gets old. Okay, I'll be honest with you. These pants, I would only wear them if I was gonna do like a full boho, look like this, because otherwise they're just very dramatic. They are very loose, free-flowing, and they feel very comfortable. What do you think? Should I tone these down? I could take it up like this. I think that could be cute. Shortening the ruffle like that. I might go that route. The truth is, I think I would have to modify the pants slightly and wear them with different shoes to actually wear them, but I couldn't find a different shoe to pair them with for this video, so here we have like the full-on boho sort of Western look. And the thing is, I had fun making these, and it's all about creative expression, so even if a project doesn't turn out perfectly fine, as long as I'm learning something and enjoying the process. And I only paid $1 for these pants. I thrifted them with the intention to rework them, so I'm still considering this a win. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you later. Peace.